Alright guys, we're back today with another video, and as you may know, the summer update is out and we have got the raid, which is right here, the summer event. I'm Team Pirates, right? And we are low-key getting slaughtered. I've seen Pirates being ahead once in all the times I've checked it, and even the percentages don't seem to be matching up. Like, they're 48%, but it says they only have that, like, what, 70 more points than us? So I'm assuming the number here is wrong and the percentage is correct. It looks like Marines are going to win, unfortunately. I have got 800 contributions so far, but I'm definitely going to get the 2k, and I recommend you guys do that as well. So for the raid, the colour is going to change, as you may know, every few hours. This is where the actual point is. It's just in the trial section. So if we check now, as you see, it's purple right now. Every 4 hours, it's going to change colour, so the units you need to bring it are going to be different. So if you really want to be grinding out the trials, guys, you're going to need at least one level 80 with a decent trait per type. So I'm going to recommend a unit from each colour. I'm going to be recommending them as if they didn't have all-star. I'm not going to recommend all-star units, because if you have an all-star of that colour, just bring it. And even on runs where you don't, you bring your all-stars, of course. I'm going to be going over units of each colour that are pretty easy to obtain, that you should focus on leveling up if you're lacking in that colour. And then once we've gone over these units and you've started to put a team together, I'm then going to go over how you can find people to help you do these runs and have a much higher success rate. Okay guys, so the first unit we're going to be going over is the purple unit. I'm going to recommend Killua for this because he's very easy to obtain and he's one of the best characters in the game. And if you don't have him yet, you should be having it as your main priority to max out Killua right now, because he's insanely broken. When you max him out, he gets full AoE. Yes, it can only hit 35 enemies at once, but having around 4k DPS AoE is great. You don't need Genesis on him. Try get Bloodlust even. All-Star's cool too, but since he's also a slow unit, I kind of think Genesis is his best trait. So how to get Killua. If you want a full comprehensive guide, go on my channel. I made a video on this. It'll be the last video before this one. But otherwise, I'll do a quick rundown now. You get the 4-star Killuas. I'll show you the called Killua. These, so you're going to want to get a lot of these because you're going to need the ones for the Ascension, the ones for the Evolution, the ones for the Ascension, and then you're also going to need an extra 4 Killuas per limit break. So if you're not caring about maxing out the skill tree, you probably need 12 Killuas. So go ahead and grab them from the banner. They're pretty easy to get as a 4-star. I'd just make sure you only pull when Killua's in the banner. He'll come in eventually. And then with that, with a Killua, you will definitely be able to come to the raid with this series Killua and always help out. I do think Killua is even good to bring when his color is not, when it's not orange, because Killua does a crazy amount of damage either way. The AoE, you can put him on different lanes, try and maybe be cheeky, get yourself top damage. But then for purple, I definitely recommend Killua. If you have Kokushiba, obviously go for Kokushiba. If you don't have Killua and you already have Songjinwoo, you can probably make it work with Songjinwoo, but your damage isn't going to be as good. So the next unit we're going to be going over is for green. So for me, I use my All-Star Mihawk, and I've MVP'd a lot of runs when green is needed. But for everyone else, I would recommend Ulquiorra. Very good unit. With how long the raid is as well, you're going to be able to get 3 Ulquiorras upgraded, and you're going to be able to get them with the 1 million damage plus to get his best final form. If you guys don't know how to get him, he is a 5-star unit, so you need to get lucky and summon him off the banner. If you can't get Ulquiorra, I would recommend Broly. I haven't actually used Broly because I've had All-Star Mihawk to start the game, but the explanation is just the same as Killua. You can evolve him up to a 5-star version through the same process. So I'd recommend Ulquiorra. If you don't have him, go ahead and do Broly because it's going to be easier to get. Now for the next unit, we're going to be going over Red. So Red's a weird one because we don't have any crazy units. I would recommend a Kainu, and you definitely should bring a Kainu if you have him. But also, he doesn't do air hill. He's not a hill unit, of course. He's a ground unit, so you might struggle there. So Red is a tricky one. I feel like Ace or Sukuna are probably your best bet. But then again, Ace has just come out and he's a 5-star, so a lot of people will have copies of him. But I feel like Sukuna's a unit a lot of people would have, so I would recommend Sukuna for this. You can also use Goku in much the same way. He's more the free-to-play friendly version. He's like Killua. But I'd definitely get your Goku Red at least. And if you have a Kainu, bring him, but just use a Goku for the hills. Otherwise, I'd focus on Ace. I personally think Ace is better than Sukuna. But really, between Ace, Sukuna, these can both handle it. Get them to level 80, and you should be able to help in that one completely fine. Should be able to hold down half a lane. Okay, so the next color is blue. I think blue's pretty easy because we've got some good units. SDev, of course, everyone's going to have SDev, but you do really want to be using your SDevs as slows more, so you don't really want to be maxing them out. So the unit I would definitely recommend, where is Zeke? I've not maxed out Zeke just because I've been using my SDev, and that's been working fine for me since I do have my Mihawk and Killua, which I'm using on every colour to pick up the slack. But I would recommend Zeke. I've got him here Genesis, but still level 1 because I haven't bothered to evolve him yet. But what I would recommend doing is definitely bringing Zeke. As you'll know from the last update, Zeke's a very meta character and his damage is really good. Get yourself a level 80 Zeke and bring this unit. Amazing for the raid. He's not going to let you down. Okay, so now we've got the final colour, so it's going to be orange. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. You're going to want Freyrin, right? Freyrin just does crazy damage once you get her maxed out, and she has a giant AoE circle, which can really help. Venus is also a good option. Again, when it's orange, I've MVP'd quite a lot of times just by using Venus and Freyrin. Venus can be better if you're weaker because you can track the enemies, but Freyrin's overall damage over time, especially with the giant AoE, is going to make her the best choice for this raid. Realistically, you want to bring both of these. You can handle it with one, right? So they're the main units I'd recommend for each colour. But now, just one thing let me recommend. Orange as well. You can also use the 5-star Naruto, which works the same way as Killua and Goku. You have to evolve him through from the 4-star version. This version, it's also a pretty easy unit to get, so I won't worry about that. I actually have a shiny of this, so I do need to go ahead and get him evolved at some point. Crocodile could also be good, but I haven't really tested him, and if you're watching a video on how to complete the raid, you're not going to have Crocodile yet. So I'm going to pass him off from the recommendations. So now we're going to go over a few units that you should be bringing no matter what. And if you don't have these units, make sure you get them because they're never not going to be useful. So the 2 units are going to be, of course, Esther. She's going to stay meta as long as she's the best freeze unit in the game. She also does a lot of damage, which makes her a great person to bring to the unit. She's good at taking stuff down early. The other one's Blackbeard. Because he slows, she freezes, so they're different types of slow. So you want to bring both of these, and then probably Killua as well on every run. So if you want to go in with a core of your farm, Killua, Estef, and Blackbeard, and then you can bring 2 damage units that you want. You could also get rid of Killua sometimes, or maybe Blackbeards, depending on the typing. They're both purple, so if it's weak to purple, I'd probably recommend just bringing Blackbeard since Killua is not going to do as much damage. But otherwise, I'd probably prefer Killua just for that extra bit of DPS. So once you've got all your units prepped, you don't have to have units prepped for every colour. Go look at what colour it is, and if you have the units that match, then that's great. That means you're going to be able to go ahead and do that one. But I'm talking here if you want to prep so you can be useful no matter the colour, as I am. Like, I know no matter what the colour is, I can hold a lane, and that's what you need for this. So the next thing is, you're not going to be soloing this. It's possible, but you need to have some pretty crazy units to solo it. So we're going over the method of how you get other people to do it with. You'll see people in videos, they've got a full 6-man. Everyone seems to know what they're doing. So what you're going to do is go down the description. There's going to be a link to the official ASTDX Discord. And in here, this is where we're going to find our teammates. So as you can see here, guys, I've got the Discord open. So once you've got the Discord and you've got everything verified, make sure you press browse channels because they won't all be ticked, so you might miss them. You're going to want to scroll to here. Depending which type you're in, pirate server or marine server, click it, and you want to go in here. You're going to have loads of people who are of your same type doing the runs. Another thing you can also do, I have noticed that the trials thing over here is full of people who probably didn't realize that there's designated channels asking to do summer event in here. A lot of them, people just put the code in, you can just join. If your units aren't that good and you're trying to sneak in, you probably could get yourself carried. But if you do have units that are decent and you're confident in your own ability, I'd recommend going for one of the groups where you have to DM your units, because if the person's vetting the units, the process will be you see this guy, summer event, DM your units, you click on them, message, send a screenshot of your units. This is the best way to guarantee you get a pretty good group, because if someone's moderating who's allowed in based on their units, you're less likely to get someone who's just completely destroying the lane and not letting, well, not really destroying the lane, the opposite, just letting everything through. You can also do the same thing if you have a private server. You can go in here and you can build your own team, which is what I normally do. I'll put a message in here, see what I get, and then you want to keep these bonds. So you find some people that are pretty good, try them as a friend, try them on Discord. So then the next time you want to do some content, you've got people there and you can get through it a lot quicker.